Welcome to The Secret Place with Steph Bene, 5-minute devotions for hungry hearts and searching souls.
Hi everybody, Steffi here. I'm back with you again today, eager to share from a little book that I found by someone named Richard Rohr, a Franciscan from New Mexico, who wrote this book called Silent Compassion, Finding God in Contemplation. And I've learned so much about contemplative prayer in the last, I'd say, 25 years. I did not know much about contemplative prayer at all growing up, but as I moved in my walk with God, getting closer and closer to Him, I realized that this kind of wild extrovert that I am had a compulsion, if you will, to interact, to be with other people, and not an aversion, but a reticence to get the discipline of daily prayer going. And through a series of quite a few different circumstances, trials, and things, the Lord, by His Spirit, brought me into a very quiet place. That's why I call this the secret place. Brought me into a very quiet place where it was a different kind of a prayer of communion, a prayer where inner healing took place. And I was never the same. This happened around 1990, 1989. And for like 3.5 years, there was just this intense time of learning by the Spirit. And so when I find authors that write about it now, it really, I love it, and I love to share it because it was so life-changing for me. So this is just a little paragraph about how we move towards contemplative life, how we move towards a life where quiet and silence is less awkward and something that is rich and desirable even in our lives, even if we're extroverts. So this is what Richard Rohr says. Although the universally available paths to it are love and great suffering, conscious inner prayer will accelerate the path to contemplation and transformation. But the mere reciting of prayers can also be, as St. John Cassian, from 360 to 435, he lived, called it pax perniciosa, a dangerous peace. This early Christian monk, who brought the ideas and practices of Egyptian monasticism to the early medieval West, saw that even the way of prayer can be dangerous if it never leads you to a great love and allows you to avoid necessary suffering in the name of religion. What those who fall into the safety net of silence find is that it is not at all a fall of individualism. In fact, if it is that dangerous peace. True prayer or contemplation is instead a leap into commonality and community. You know that what you are experiencing is held by the whole and that you are not alone anymore. You are part. You are a part, and you have forever a grateful heart. Well, by now you must know that empty religion is something that disturbs me because it offers a false hope. I'm not saying that no one can find the Lord through a religious system at all. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is sometimes we substitute the religious rituals and structures of our worship expression, our church expression, our denomination, for the living God, for a relationship with the living God. And one of the things that silence and the inner prayer, what Madame Guyon calls the prayer of the heart, can do for us is bring a real, just a greater balance to our life and a greater sense of peace and a greater reality of the Lord to us. It's like we, through the Spirit and through this practice of quiet, still solitude, we can much more easily come to a space, what we really do is we kind of create a spiritual space between us and the Lord, where we can go there and find our way back to solid peace and stability and security, real security. Through this contemplative practice, it's like we allow the Lord to lift up the floorboards of our life, and we look under it, and he gives us the strength and the bravery and the comfort to look under there and say, there is something deeper. The motivations of my heart aren't always pure all the time. And it creates a humility, and it's like you cannot avoid humility when you pray that way, when you pray contemplatively, because it goes beyond the mask, it goes beyond the surface. And so, although sometimes that quiet little place that you go to, especially, it's much easier for introverts, but even that, it can be very awkward, or it can be a comfortable avoidance place for some people. But mostly, I would say, if you're really doing the work, if you're really letting God kind of in there, instead of just keeping him at arm's length distance, he's going to do the work. He's going to do the work of transformation and bring the kind of inner healing that you need. We all need it. We all need it. Even if we haven't been abused or forgotten or rejected for a large part of our life, we all have wounds. We all have hurts. We all have things that make us feel broken and off. And God is about healing those things. He wants to heal those things, so let's let him. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm looking forward to being with you next time, and until then, enjoy his peace, and go find that secret place.
Breathe, listen, and receive. Take a moment to soak it all in. Until next time.